Welcome to the Pennsylvania VLT setup guide. Let's start with calibration. Go ahead and go into the setup mode, enter screen calibration, and then turn the attendant key to perform. You're going to touch all the crosshairs one at a time, total of 5 crosshairs. If your calibration is not good, you can test it at this point. I would recommend calibrating again and make sure there's no interference, like neon signs or a missing ground will cause touchscreen issues. After your touchscreen setup, we'll go into sound, and let's set up the volume to the desired level. We recommend the lowest setting because there are pretty loud games. It's up to you as your preference. After volume, we'll do machine information. This is where we'll put in the serial number and the asset. And these are, like all the other settings, these are all pretty important. So if you don't get this right and you save it, you're looking at a RAM clear to reset these. So let's make sure we get them right before you hit set serial and set asset over on the right side. After we set our serial and our asset number, we're going to go ahead and do the device configuration, which would be where we can set up our peripherals. And the iDEC being USB should have auto-detected. Set your bill acceptor and your printer to your preference or your chosen peripherals. Now we're going to go into credit setup, and we'll set up a penny, the jackpot to 1,000. The multi-denomination must be enabled. And then we're going to go ahead and set the printer limit to 10,000 and your preference, the ticket limit to 10,000. Just so you don't have any problems. We may change the jackpot level on this page to 1001 so that there's no hand pay issues later down the line. After we set up the credit and printer limits, we're going to go into the game config button on this page, and I think he's still waiting to set the ticket limit here. Yeah, there we are, 10,000. So then we'll go ahead and hit set, and then go into game config, enable all 5 games, or 3 if it's a J43. Hit save, next. We'll create a game. Create new game. Start at the top of the list. Choose your percentage that you guys are using for this location. This example will be 92. And we'll choose on the right side the percentage that you desire. And then you'll hit next. You'll choose your denomination. And next. Do the same thing for Betty Boop. There's 3 different denominations available for bonus 7s. We'll choose all 3 one at a time, starting at the top, penny, then a quarter, and then the nickel. All, of course, at the 92%. Then we'll move on to Fugal. Fugal we'll set up the progressive for that game. Quick hits, 92. After we set all these games, we'll hit save all, and it'll take a couple of minutes to save those games. After we save all of those, we can go into the other red button on that page, cash out options. So you're back on the credit page, cash out options. We're going to go ahead and do hand pay validation, hand pay receipt, and residual credit collect. Residual credit collect will do hand pay and cancel. Set, and just lock it in. After that, we're going to go ahead and set our clock. Now, start with the time zone. and then I would check your date. If your date is off, start with the year, then the month, then the day, then set your hour, because if you alter the time zone or the days, you may affect your hour. So once you know you've got the time right, hit set. And after clock setup, we're going to go into protocol select, where we'll choose SAS. SAS primary and SAS secondary. After we lock those in, you can configure each one depending on what SAS number in your location. This one was 5, and we'll hit enhanced, then we'll hit save, and that's for the local host. SAS secondary setup, we just change it also to SAS 5. That is for GTech to have machine control over. We'll hit device ownership options, and this is where we'll set the SAS secondary for machine control. That gives GTech, the state, the ability to turn on and off the machines. All the other SAS primaries you see are your local host, whether it be M3 or BALLY backend. Those will be that control. After that, we're going to go into setup, COM setup, progressive setup. We'll set it to super progressive. Then you're going to go ahead and hit controller setup. Then you will config, and it should prompt you for the Fugao if it's that game set. Set and save. Exit, save again. You hit save. Then hit the yellow config button. Go ahead, change those all to internal, level 2. Set, save all. And now you're ready for your machine to be brought up, hopefully. If you have any problems with this, feel free